This John Deere 111 came into the shop today. It's got a bad double stacked pulley bearing. I'm going to show you how to replace all of that today.
I'm not going to go through the process of how to put the deck on, how to take the deck off, but there is a problem with the pulley, and it's a press-on double pulley, and the bearing's gone. So I'm going to show you how to take it off and replace it. So here's the deck, and you can see the double pulley on the back side right there. And as we take that off, you can see that the bearing's gone, and that's a press fit for that, and it's a press fit for the pulley, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So first things first, we have to remove the return springs, which is going to be this spring, and then we have to take out the cotter pin, which is here, and then everything will come off. So that's what we're going to do now. Take off the return spring. That's off. Next thing we're going to do is take out this cotter pin. All of this will come off, and we need to do that to be able to press in this new part, which will be a bearing, and of course then we'll need to press on a pulley like that back on there on this deck for the repair. Okay, the cotter pin's out from here. It's got a washer that goes on top. Got to do that. The next thing that we have to do to get that off is we have to take off these two nuts off these, be able to take and raise this off. So these two nuts are 1/2 inch. We're going to take those off so we can take the bracket off and get the idler pulley off. Right on there. That should free everything up. Free that up. And there you go. Comes right off. Alright, the next thing we need to do is remove this part here. Now with the belt off, we just need to take this spring. That'll be the first thing that we need to do. Remove that. Take that off. Set that aside.
This pulley bracket will now just slide up off the pin that you see there. It's held on by a nylon bushing and just slides right off. Here you can see the bracket with the nylon bushing that will slide right off the top of that pin. I just use a crowbar, slide it underneath and give it a quick pop. That'll knock it up there. You'll be able to then slide it off the shaft. And take a look at the bottom side there. That's what's going to have to be driven out so that we can put the new bearing in and then press the pulley on. You can see the pin that sets on is kind of rusty, and there's garbage around the bottom side of that pin there. All I'm going to do is just scrape a little bit of that garbage off of there and then clean it up with a wire brush and then do a test fit. So
just as a test fit, I went ahead and cleaned the shaft up right here at the base here. Just used a drill with a wire brush on the end of it. And then I'm just going to do a test fit before I take this out. I'm going to just test fit this. Just make sure everything's going to be easy. And as you can see, it does. Goes on easy, moves like it should. So all that corrosion has been taken off, and it's good to go. So now it's time to get this out, put the new bearing on. So this part just presses into this part. So this is just a bushing, this is a press fit. To get that out, I'm just going to lock this bushing part up in my vise, and into that, I'm going to drive this out from the bottom side and just drive it out. So as you can see, I'm just using a drift punch. Made that out of a piece of rebar, just shortened a piece of rebar, made drift punch out of it. I did not heat this with a torch, and then just tap it with a hammer. You see in the vise, you're not going to need enough room so you don't bottom out on the vise down there. But that's all there is to it. You just take that, hit it with a hammer, and it'll punch right out. Okay, now it's time to reassemble the double stack pulley onto the mower deck. This is the new pulley, and that happens to be part number AM37 645, and that's an original John Deere part. This is the old bearing shaft. As you can see, it's shot, and the bearing's gone. This is the new bearing part that has to be pressed in, and so you can see that was definitely the problem as to why that pulley came off that shaft to begin with. That part is part number M74707. So that's that part. This is a little yellow cap right here. This little yellow cap, that'll go right in the top of this, right in the top of that, to keep out dirt, debris, sand, and whatever getting down in there and destroying the bearing. So that cap is gone, missing on the old pulley. And this, of course, is the part that all presses into, and so this is going to press into there. And when it's done, the bottom of this right here should be flush with the bottom of this right here. And of course, you can't knock that in with a hammer. That has to be pressed in. So if you don't have a press, and I don't have one either, I don't use one often enough for this kind of work, I just use my vise, my vise right here on the end of my bench. It's a nice heavy duty carpenter vise, and I'll open that up and we'll put that part in there. We'll lube it up with a little bit of WD-40 here and just press that part right in. Okay, here the part is locked up. It's already started in the vise, and all I'm going to do is just use my vise and that should do it right there. Should bottom it out right there. And as you can see, the vise stops just right, bottoms that out on the bottom, leaves the right amount of space on the top, and the next thing we're going to do is press on the pulley. Okay, same thing here. Just going to lube it up with a little bit of WD-40. A little inside. Alright, now that's ready to press on. That started there. And we'll press it on in a vise. Okay, here we are. I'm going to press the bearing in. I'm going to make sure that you've got everything. You don't get this cocked in here. You want to get this in there straight to get going. And it'd be a lot easier if you had a heavy press. I don't have one, so I just use my bench vise. Little WD-40. And I will check this, make certain that this pulley lines up accurately on the mower deck when I'm done. Try to get that so that you can see that actually go in there. But yeah, I want to have that bearing at least flush with the bottom of this. But I will check this fit before I press it on all the way. I will check this fit, make certain that this pulley lines up with the rest of the pulleys on the mower deck before pressing it on all the way. But we do know that all of the bearing, all of this part of the bearing right here will have to be at least be flush with the bottom of the pulley. And so we have that flush with the bottom of the pulley now. So we'll go up, check it on the deck, make sure it fits. pulley was pressed on just about so clears a quarter of an inch on the bracket there. About a quarter of an inch on the bracket right there. Clearance. So that will line up with this idler pulley when it all goes together. So then that slides on there. And the idler pulley is going to slide on next. This bracket's going to bolt on here. So then this will go like this. That will bolt up there, and then you can see that these are pretty well lined up together. And this pulley then will also line up pretty well with these pulleys here. So the deck should be pretty well good to go once we get it back together. There's a little washer, goes on top there, came off, and we'll just put a cotter pin in there, and we're good to go. Don't forget to put the dust cap in. That's this little plastic cap from John Deere. That's all there is to that. Okay. Tighten up these two. It's a 1/2 inch wrench. Tighten up these 2 bolts. That'll secure. Takes care of that one. Takes care of that one. You probably want to take note of how the drive belt goes back on as well, or the deck belt. Goes around these 2 outside pulleys. Comes around the outside of this pulley. Goes back underneath just slide it underneath the tension pulley. Go back up on that side. And when the spring goes on, connects here, spring connects right across here. Got to put tension on the belt, and she's good to go. So that'll finish this project up and get it back on the mower. Next, the tension spring goes back. That's the spring right here. It's going to attach right here. The tension spring goes back there. And there you go. Tension spring on.
Just as a final note, notice the large spring orientation here. That's how that goes when you put the deck back on the mower. And I hope that this helps someone with a similar project. Thanks for watching.